Hi everyone, this is Susie from Minnesota and I garden in Zone 4. It's May 31st and I thought I would take you on a tour of all of my containers that I have planted up so far. There's still a few that have to be done and added to. In here, I'm just using this more as a form for anything, just like a look. It's a little small, so I wasn't sure what I could get to climb up on it that would be small enough. This is an ivy geranium, Sophie Cascade. And I have 4 of the same kind around the edges. And then in the middle here, I just have a tall verbena, Verbena Bonariensis. And that is a seed I had started. And that gets about 4 feet tall, so I figure once that starts doing what it needs to do, it can just kind of poke out from the sides. I think I'll like it. I'm hoping I like it. These containers are not done yet. I have some things I want to put on the side here. I have some caladiums ordered, and I'm thinking I'm going to do that. So there's some room. And in the front here, I just have a spider plant, along with velveteen coleus. And then the grasses are the greater quaking oats grasses that I had started. We'll see how I like it. It's pretty much going to be a foliage container for now, unless if I change my mind. So I have 3 types of caladiums coming. They usually don't come until the beginning of June. So I'm hoping the spider plant just starts trailing down. It seems to me like it's doing what it wants to do somewhere else. Most of these containers were planted up maybe a week ago. I'm kind of going to do this as a container planting because I just used to do 4 in here. The reason being for those pots is at one point I had rock around my foundation. So planting in rock is very difficult, especially for annuals. So I just had annuals in those 4 pots, which was really neat looking. And then once I got rid of the rock, I got mulch and things just perform a lot better for me. It's doing good. You can see that the coleus that I had planted, which were cuttings started by me again, they're starting to bush out, get a lot more leaves, look a bit better. The only thing that I did not start this year were the sun patience here, and it's a vigorous pink kiss. They should get a lot bigger, fingers crossed. I usually have good luck with sun patience, but the minute I say that, I don't know, I feel like I'm jinxing myself. I know the rabbits have been going to town on, especially this grass here, the greater quaking oats grass. So, we'll see. It's still a little early here, so I have time to decide if that's what I want to keep there. Isn't that glorious? Sorry, I just had to stop. In here I have, all of these are also my cuttings, redhead coleus. I forget what this one is called, and then I think that's wasabi. The only thing that I bought were more sun patience. And I just got 2. They get nice and big, so I kind of put them on the corner here. They can kind of fill in and hopefully not be taken over by the coleus. I went with less plants in here this year just because all of this gets really big, and last year a lot of plants just got taken over by others. Coleus is a pretty good grower in my area. I'd walk faster, but I'm just trying to not make this so choppy. So in these little pots here, this is a Plectranthus variegated. You can, this is just, I can't wait because it just should hang way down. There was one in my garden center the other day and I swear it was hanging 3 feet down. I can't wait. And Wandering Jew. Nice thing about these containers is I don't have to water them a lot. I usually wait till that, I just watered last night, but I wait till that top, I would say, inch is dry. Then I water. Tahitian Bridal Veil. There's just one plant in each container. And most of these containers are plastic. And I spray painted most of them to kind of be the same color. A lot of them were terracotta. I don't like plastic terracotta pots, so I went with a different color here. I do like terracotta. It's just if I had terracotta pots, I would have to bring them in for the winter, and that would be a lot. Just a little begonia. My sister had gotten some and had some left over, so I thought I'd plant him up this year. I don't remember. Did I save the tag? I have it in a number. Oh, I did. Look at that. It is Ambassador by Color. And it says it can take sun to shade. So I have one in, this is a shady area. And then I have a partial sun and then a sun. So we'll see how well it does in those 3 areas. Then over here, again, lots of cotton. This, I'll have to explain, this rug here is what I lay in here for my kennel area. So when my dog comes through, his little feet kind of get wiped off before he goes in, for the most part. It does work, but it was wet from the other day and the cotton just stuck to it. So that is a job for me. And here, this is my splurge pot. This is an expensive pot. But all my other ones I've kept pretty simple. This is an Albicinian banana. And here I planted one last year and fell in love with it, so I had to do it again. And then I have coleus around here with a lemon coral sedum. And I did give it room in here because the trunk on this banana gets really big and these coleus will fill in. I have no doubt about that. They look really good. But again, just a plastic pot. I've kind of stuck with the dark theme this year for the most part. And then my garden center too has a little shed where you can bring back your plastic containers and people just drop off stuff, and I've just kind of been taking and spraying them. It's cheap. I figure my plants do the talking, not my containers. Dragon Wing Begonia pink, and I kind of did that because in the veining here of this coleus there's a little kind of pink corally color. And down in here, I have the tag in here. I've got to stand up though. I think I saw this. It's a purple heart. Probably should have this where, yep. So it's that Crecia. Probably butchering that. So it's got its own little container. I also did the purple because I thought the purple too kind of played off of the veining in this coleus here. Let me see if I can find the tag here. Things have grown pretty good. Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to get through here. It is called Golden Dreams. Can't wait to see how that one fills in. All of them, really. I really like the banana. And this container here is just a begonia. It's, I think, Illuminations Apricot. I like it because the begonias do not need to be watered a lot. They like it a little bit drier, so it's a little less watering on my part. Then over here, this is a Belliconia, and it's called Snow. So I cannot wait. And I just have one plant in each container. This was what I found at the garden shed, my garden center. Free, so I just spray painted it. Yeah, we'll go this way. A lot of my containers are simple. And when I mean simple, like they're in just a plastic pot. Again, I'm kind of keeping them all the same look. I reused the soil on most of these. I had some soil that I had gotten in for when I started my seeds. So most of the soil is from last year. I've just added a slow release fertilizer, rejuvenated it, and we'll see how it goes. I fertilize once a week, so it's and a lot. Just have one type of flower in there. I kind of did a play on a filler, spiller, thriller. So back here, and we'll see how I like it. So in this big one, the Velveteen coleus, and in there's like fuchsias and corals. So we'll see how that kind of colors up here, because it says sun or shade, and coleus does differently in those kind of situations. And this container here, there, Streptocarpella, and they came in teeny tiny little pots. So this is going to be my spiller here. And this is so soft. This was in kind of like the fairy garden section. And I can't wait. I love that. And then in here I just have one sun patient, and it's a coral color. So I could put more in there. I probably could have put 3 plants in there. They get big. We'll see how it does. At the end of the season, I can determine if that was a good way to go or not. But it saves on the pocketbook too. But I think it'll look really good. Oh, I passed up Trevor here. So in Trevor, this is baby tut and papyrus grass. So what I did is, normally I have Trevor full of soil and I plant right into him. My only issue is with any of the papyrus grasses that I've ever gotten between baby tut, prince tut, king tut, it gets an extensive root system, and what happens is it grows into his legs here, because the soil can go in his legs and I can't get it out. So I just have a huge plastic pot in here, just a nursery can, bunch of soil, and at the end of the year when I'm ready to clean it out, I can just pop it out. I made that mistake with the Thailand giant elephant ear, and that took some getting out. I don't want to break that pot. And then back here, if you can see, I have a turtle planter. His name is Sheldon. Yes, I do name all my animal planters. I just have another, I think it's Tropical Rose sun patient. Just one in him. And then in this urn planter back here, just a pink dragonwing begonia. Once I get my caladiums, I'll put around the edges, and that'll fill in nicely. I did that last year and it was really nice. I have one type of flower in here, and this is illumination white begonia. And they'll trail. And yes, this looks dinky, but if it's not doing what I think, I can also put caladiums around the edges here and have it fill in. That's a sun patient. I figured it out wrong with the vigorous pink kiss in the front, so that's where the extra went. I'm doing a lot of repeat plantings just because they perform wonderfully for me and they're low maintenance and they look beautiful. So it's a win-win situation. And this variegated, oh, it smells so good. I don't know what it smells like, but I like the smell. But it's very, I don't know, herby, minty, lemony. It's really neat. I love it. I can't stop rubbing my fingers over it. And that was just a variegated plectranthus too. Same begonia that I have in the pot. In this area, I just kind of kept everything the same. Isn't that pretty? This one's doing a little bit better. But look at that. And that is called apricot. And you get peach there, and then that yellow bloom. And this will cascade down. Oh, my hands still smell good from that plectranthus. Let's see, I'm probably going to go this way real quick. And a lot of these pots have flowers that I started by seed. Oh, here's another one. This is more of a part sun. That's where I have that other begonia. So we'll see how that does. Should fill in quite nicely. These begonias usually do. They just take a little bit. I like how it's mainly white with some pink tinge around it. Diamond Frost Euphorbia. This is the only terracotta pot that I have. Actual terracotta. And I love terracotta for the fact how it ages. It gets those marks. I just love it. But I find that Diamond Frost Euphorbia does better on its own. It's a very delicate plant, slow grower, and things just seem to be, they're bullies to it. So, in here, I might have to bump it up a little bit because things have really grown in here since I placed this. I just have one salvia. It's called Black and Bloom, and I'll get a bright purple flower on it. It gets about 3 feet tall. And it will fill in. It's already probably doubled in size, and I'll see if I can kind of view it from behind. More Diamond Frost Euphorbia. They do not need a lot of water, which is very nice. If you water them too much, they really turn yellow real quick. So you will know. But on their own, I think it just adds an airiness to this garden over here. A little cottagey feel, which I absolutely love. And I mean, it kind of feels cottagey. It's a little messy if you want to say that, but I like messy gardening. Back here, these were just seeds I started in the spring inside, but Cleome, so they'll get nice and tall. Rose Queen, and then yeah, right here, no blooms yet. I know there were some, but the hummingbirds absolutely love it. Last year it did, was it Rock and Fuchsia? It got 3 feet tall and 3 feet wide. It was There was no need for any other plant in that container, and there was only one. I'm glad I did that. In here, I just have some morning glories that I started, and they're taking a little bit. They're starting to vine just a bit here. They have variegated foliage. I've mulched what I could with my leaf mulch just to kind of help with the watering, because my watering system is me. It's a hose or it's watering cans, and which I don't mind, because then I can inspect my plants as I'm watering them to look for any bug issues, anything. So I don't have drip irrigation. But I love watering. I sit there and listen to the birds and feel the breeze. And right now, no mosquitoes, so there's a plus. In here, I have scaevola, just all white in there. And then this is one that I started. This is a datura, and it's going to be a purple one. Isn't it cool how the stem is purple? I think it's called ballerina purple. And that's doing really nicely. And I thought, again, this is just more for look, but it can all just peek out from the sides. This was a little 4-pack that I bought. I did it because it's kind of more of a salmon color, peachy, and I don't have a lot of that. So, it's a salvia. It's called Coral Nymph. And here I have Snapdragons. These are my seed collection. Rocket Orchid. And they're doing really good. We've had some strong winds, so they've been holding up pretty good to that. And it's just, how many do I have in here? 5? I packed that pretty full, but because I had so many plants, I thought I could. I only had money invested in the seeds. And this cat planter back here, this is the sun one, so I got the 3 going on with the shade, part sun and sun. And it's staying there for a bit to protect that lily from the rabbits. So then I was struggling with, I wanted to do a moon garden back here. And then I was like, the only thing about moon gardens is a lot of those plants bloom later in the evening. And I do a lot of my tours in the morning. So some of that stuff isn't even blooming at that time. And so I thought I'd do it on a smaller scale. And here, and a lot of these pots were just left over from years of getting plants from the inert garden center. But my aunt had some leftover alyssum and asked if I wanted it. I'm like, I love alyssum. Definitely. I'll never say no to free plants. And this one, this is night blooming phlox. It's supposed to have an unbelievable scent. And then silver sage, which is looking fantastic in there. Like, wow. And in the middle, this is another datura, but this is a white one. And I think like I said, I don't like stepping into my gardens because I don't like to compact the soil, but it's got a bloom. Look at that. Can't wait. And all of this is supposed to have a nice scent, and then the night phlox here, a really nice scent. The alyssum has a little bit. I think it's better on cooler days. And then in here, just to have a huge pot of the night phlox. So yeah, so this is my little tiny moon garden. We'll see how I like it. Let's go this way. Sun is a little intense over here at this time. Just another Apricot Begonia. I love coral colors, peach, orange. I have a lot of pink this year. We'll see how I like that. I did not do that on purpose. It just kind of happened. And here I'll show you. I just have a bunch of sweet peas. They're all one kind. Kupani's original. And these are quite vigorous. So I have some twine in here to kind of get them to go upright. But they're starting to do pretty good on their own. I'm hoping they fill this teepee here. They're heavy feeders, so I got to keep up on the fertilizing with them. This one, I think it's a little bit more sun, so you can definitely see that it's filling in just a little bit better, but that's okay. But I won't get too close because that sun is pretty bright right there. And here I just have a moonflower vine. And these are my vines that I started. I started them in March. I started them a little bit too soon, but they're doing pretty good. So sometimes when I start vines too soon, they struggle a little bit later. And here, another datura. This is yellow. So I have 3 types. I have a white one, a purple one, and a yellow one. This all of these I had to keep up on because they get a lot of bug damage. No blooms on that one yet, but it's got a nice sturdy stem on it. And here, we'll see how I feel about this. This is a coleus that I got from the garden center. I've never had. It's called Festive Dance. It was already blooming when I got it. So, I'm just trying to see. And it's even blooming there. I don't like that. I mean, I've already pinched them a lot. It may not make it. Or it may not do more than that. I don't like when they're blooming. And then this right here is Creeping Jenny. I just took that out of my garden. So it's a freebie. Gomphrena back here. Also some seeds I started. Looking really good. Branching out really nicely. I just put a zinnia here. Just one. And if you can see, I kind of moved it forward to give it a little bit more room so it's not smack dab against the fence here. So that's branching out nicely too. Some of you might not find this quite appealing because it's simple flowers, but I love those flowers. They just make me happy, and they really bring in the bees, the hummingbirds, the butterflies, the moths, you name it. It's just, I love watching them. And here I have a lobularia. I do have the tag. Just one. And it's called Snow Princess. So I'm hoping that it just kind of cascades down. And this planter here is Wanda. So I hope it just kind of falls down from her mouth. More sweet peas. This one is Edward of York. You can see this is not quite so vigorous as the Kupani's original. So I'm hoping this covers that. It's not super tall. Back here, just some Verbena Bonariensis. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? So it's going to get super tall, about 4 feet. It's already got some flower heads on. Let's see, cannas. I overwintered in my garage. I have, what, 3 or 4 in here? I think I broke off a little one in there the other day. And then these are my dahlias. Kelsey, Annie, Joy. I don't think I could find the tag in there. But we'll see how I like it. This is a big container. This is a little packed fuller. So I got my Thriller Filler Spiller in here. I've done that with a few containers this year. And then the rest are just kind of kept quite simple. What P. Allen Smith says, singular sensations. That's what I'm going for. Like, this is one of them. Gara. on its own. These plants get massive, so in a container on its own will be perfect. It's got that one spiky flower head right now. And I would say this has doubled in size since I planted it, which was, again, I think week and a half ago. In front, I have bunny tails. And go figure, the bunnies like it. They've been munching it down. So all of these seeds were started by me in the spring. So it is what it is. I'm not going to fret about it. This is my cutting garden. Cleome back here. I have Cosmos. I love that ferny foliage, the airiness of it. Tithonia, Mexican sunflower that looks tough. It normally looks like this for a bit until the root system can get really developed, and then it takes off. Back here I have a hyacinth bean vine. Look how big that has gotten. And then this was a later one that I had started, so it'll catch up. You can see one of my verbena, they're already blooming. I had pinched my Cosmos here, if you can see. So it's created a lot of branching. I think I have a flower head on my zinnia here. I want to say that this is a lime green one, and then there's 3 purple ones. 3 or 2? Oh, looks like I went with 2. And then I have Nicotiana. That looks a little tough, but we'll see how well it does. Some of these were started too soon, so next year I know not to start them that soon. More Gomphrena in there. So same over here. I have a flower head on this Tithonia, and I'm tempted to just pinch it off, but I don't know. Put it back up here. Let's see, that might, oh, and then I think this is the last container that I have. This is more sweet peas, and this is Edward of York. So you can see it's a little squattier, but it's getting there. I mean, so we'll see. I'm trying to think if I got all my containers. Oh, I have one. That's no big deal, but I'll still show you. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, that might be it. Might be it. What's nice is a lot of these plants were from me, so I saved a lot of money that way. Granted, they don't look like much now, but gardening has taught me patience. So I'll wait a little bit. Okay, in here, like I said, this isn't anything spectacular, but what I did is I dug a hole in here. I put in just kind of a nursery can in here, plastic, filled it with really good soil, and planted a viner in here. And this is a hyacinth bean vine. So I've got this little plastic little trellis thing here attached this so it can kind of climb up, and then hopefully climb up my shepherd's hook. So, and I have 2 planted in there. I had 2 seeds together, so I just left it. So that is it for my containers. Hopefully you enjoyed them. I can't wait to see how they do throughout the summer, and I will keep you posted probably on a monthly basis, unless if they look really spectacular, and then I'll do an update a little bit sooner. But hopefully you enjoyed this, and bye for now.